Good afternoon, everybody. Very happy to see all of you. Today, as we gather as one family, united in faith and overflowing with gratitude, to celebrate our truly extraordinary grace, the 90th birthday of our beloved father, Theodore Pinto. We fondly call him Father Uncle. Father Theo was born on 10th November 1935. When we look back Father Theo's life, we don't just see a man who has lived 90 years. We see a missionary disciple, a gentle shepherd, and a life that tells the story of God's faithfulness. Let me begin with a little family story that many may not know. Father Theo was the fourth child in a family of 8 and the first boy after 3 girls. No wonder the whole family rejoiced, and he was fondly called Babuti. I think you remember that. Our name still wrapped in affection, still echoing in our family's memory. But his story goes even deeper. When he was an infant, he suffered a severe bout of pneumonia, so serious that the family feared for his life. His grandmother, in deep faith, made a vow to God, "If the child recovers, I will offer him to the Lord." God heard their prayer, and today we are celebrating the fulfillment of that promise. A priest, a missionary, and a living witness of God's grace. Yes, let's celebrate. Like many of us in religious life, we have many fathers, sisters, and brothers. Father Theo also went through a profound spiritual transformation in his youth as a young priest. He searched for meaning, he searched for direction, and in that search, he discovered Christ in a powerful personal way. From that moment on, he never looked back. Christ became his path, his purpose, and his lifelong joy. And for all cousins here, my cousins here, with only 2 uncles alive, our father uncle and Jerry uncle who's sitting here, he has been a true father figure, a guide, and a steady spiritual presence in our family. Like St. Paul, who left his homeland to bring the gospel to distant lands, Father Theo stepped beyond comfort and familiarity and into God's calling. From Bondel Parish here, where his vocation first took root, to Lucknow and Bareilly in North India, then to Germany, Austria, and finally Canada, his life echoes Paul's conviction. Woe to me if I do not preach the gospel. Our visiting priest from Lucknow once spoke to the assistant priest here then our need for Christ preaching at Lucknow. A young Theo listened, and like the prophet, he said, "Here I am, Lord, send me." The Bishop of Lucknow welcomed him with unforgettable words. "Theodore, you are a gift of God for us." Little did he know that gift would bless the church far beyond expectation. Father Theo has always had a deep thirst for learning. He pursued an MA in Sanskrit from Karnataka University, German studies in Pune, a master's psychology from Innsbruck, Austria, and courses in Indology at the University of Vienna. And even while studying, he never stopped serving, guiding families, supporting religious sisters, and caring for the sick. A true scholar, a true shepherd. In the Diocese of London, Canada, He served for 33 years as a hospital chaplain, holding the hands of the suffering, whispering prayers of hope, and bringing Christ in hospital bedsides where faith meets fear. His psychology strengthened the mind. His priesthood healed the soul. His kindness comforted the heart, not through noise or words, but through quiet, compassionate presence. There's a beautiful poem which I'm very fond of, Footprints in the Sand. A person dreams of walking with God along a beach. Two sets of footprints appear, one belonging to God and the other to the person. But during the hardest moments of life, there is only one set. The person asks the Lord, Lord, why did you leave me when I needed you most? And the Lord replies, my child, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. Father Theo's life is that poem made flesh. God walking with him and often carrying him across oceans, cultures, and challenges, and carrying so many others through him. A gentle shepherd. Father Uncle, your life continues to bear fruit. Fruits of faith, kindness, charity, and encouragement. You have touched countless lives, not through grand speeches, but through gentle words, quiet prayers, and a steady example. You have taught us that holiness isn't about doing great things, but doing things, small things, with great love. St. Francis de Sales said, nothing is so strong as gentleness, nothing so gentle as real strength. Uncle, your life is in one sentence. You are among the pioneer Mangalorean priests who served the Diocese of Lucknow. The priests still talk about you. Far from home, yet close to every heart you met. Through your ministry, your charity, and your humble example, you became a true light to all. As a family here, we share a very special bond of grace with you. You blessed my parents' wedding on 24th September 1963 at your very priestly mass as a newly ordained priest. And today, standing before you as their firstborn, I can truly say I am the one of the first fruits of your priestly blessing. Give him a big hand. That's why I'm here. Over the years, you have blessed everyone who has come to you with your prayers, your generosity, your comforting presence. You have helped many quietly, always choosing to be hidden instrument of God's mercy. Now, as you spend your retirement years among us, we realize what a treasure we have in you. Through your daily Eucharist in the chapel, your Saturday rosary near the grotto, your Friday fasting, and your simple way of life, you remind us that faith isn't something we visit on Sundays. It's something we live every day. We experience Jesus through your simplicity, your humility, and your unshakable trust in God. And of course, you often remind us to prepare for the second coming of Christ. Though, to be honest, we sometimes think you are so ready to meet Him that you might just get there first and put in a good word for the rest of us. Your story, Father, is truly a gospel in action. A young man from Mangalore who heard God's call, became a missionary priest in the north, served faithfully, which is not easy, for decades. Now, in your graceful years, continue to bless us through your life, your prayers, and your holy stubbornness for God. You have even written prayer booklets based on scriptures which you share with every person that you meet. But really, your life itself is a living prayer. Your daily adoration, thanksgiving, and simple lifestyle have brought you closer to God and drawn all of us to God. In other words, you are a man of few words, gentle and kind, generous at heart, deeply devout, never letting health or age stop you from praying or standing or kneeling for hours before the Lord. You are aging gracefully, never complaining about anything or anyone. On a personal note, as I said, you have been my greatest inspiration in my vocation. As I said, I am the first fruit of your priestly blessing, and second later, when I felt called to be a Christian brother rather than a priest, you stood by me when others hesitated. You simply said, if Hector wants to join the Christian brothers, let him join. I know them. They are a great congregation. Listen to God's voice in your heart. That one line gave me courage and direction. Today I try to walk in your shoes, though they are far too big to fit. But at least for today I can say, I'm wearing your shirt and the collar that you gave me. If I can't walk in your shoes, yet I can carry a bit of your spirit on my shoulders. Your life is a prayer, silent, faithful, and constant. You have sown peace, healed hearts, lifted spirits, and shown that real joy doesn't come from possessions of power or wealth, but from a life deeply rooted in God's love. As a family here, we thank God for the gift of you, the priest who prayed for us, the uncle who guided us, the shepherd who inspired us, and the man who continues to radiate the quiet joy of the gospel. And so, on behalf of the whole family and all the people who gathered here, let me say this way. If faith were music, you would be a hymn. If charity were a river, you would be the source. If love were a light, you would be steady flame. As St. Paul says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Father, uncle, you have run the race, and you're still running it with grace and attitude. Now may I ask you to rise, and let's bless our father uncle. May God give you strength, peace, joy, and many more years of grace. 90 years of life beautifully lived, a life offered to God, just as your grandmother promised. Happy 90th birthday, uncle. May God keep you in joy, in peace, and in the warmth of his love. Cheers.
Cheers.